Kareem Abdul-Jabbar holds a number of titles in the National Basketball Association, among them 1969 Rookie of the Year, 19-time All-Star, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, and to this day, the league's all-time leading scorer. What was your absolute best NBA memory, and what did you learn from it?
I would say my best NBA memories would be the success that I enjoyed on the Lakers in the decade of the 80s. And I kind of like carried a banner for people my age, because I was able to play so long. I was still playing, and a lot of people my age could relate. And that was special. That was a real privilege.
Abdul-Jabbar is quick to give credit where credit is due. He could not have achieved the high level of success in his career if it weren't for the sacrifices of those who came before him. He got to where he is on the shoulders of giants.
On the shoulders of giants.
This documentary chronicles the best basketball team you never heard of, the Harlem Renaissance 5, or the Harlem Wrens. When did you first become aware of the Harlem Wrens?
I didn't become aware of the Harlem Wrens until after I retired from professional basketball. And I had a chance to study about it a little bit and read into it.
The Wrens played basketball in the heart of Black America in the 20s and 30s, New York's Harlem. As a precursor to the Harlem Globetrotters, the all-black team couldn't even play on the same court with whites. Many say they were the best basketball team to ever play the game. They paved the way for integration in the NBA, a fact not lost on one of its most famous alumni.
It really helped me understand that basketball players today, especially African-American basketball players today, owe these guys something, because they set standards, and because of what these men had done, everybody realized that not all the best athletes were playing in the NBA. And within 3 years, the NBA integrated.
Abdul-Jabbar was so inspired that he produced the documentary. But there's even more to this Hall of Famer than meets the eye. You are not just an athlete. How do you want people to know you or remember you?
Basically, it's I can do more than stuff the ball through a hoop. I feel that my greatest asset is my mind, and I've tried to make that obvious by the things that I do.
He's an author, having written 7 books, including a companion to the documentary and Brothers in Arms, about a tank unit who fought under General George Patton during World War II.
The 761st were involved in the liberation of Dachau, Gunskirchen, and Mauthausen death camps, and probably a couple of others. It's not a very well-known part of the history of World War II, but it actually happened. I think it's very important that blacks and Jewish Americans understand this.
His latest book is a foray into children's literature, the first in a series called What Color Is My World?
It's about African-American inventors and how they've impacted American life. And hopefully it will be the first in a series. I want to continue on that theme and deal with Hispanic inventors and also Asian inventors.
Why do you think that's important?
A lot of people don't understand the importance of the diverse nature of American life. Until it's pointed out, people will continue to make that assumption.
Like many assume, the 7'2" basketball wonder is only about his sport. But in fact, this Laker legend is a collector of coins, oriental rugs, and books. He considers himself a bibliophile. He's also a historian. Some of his heroes include the first Treasury Secretary, Alexander Hamilton, Jackie Robinson, and Wild Bill Hickok.
Wild Bill Hickok is one of my heroes because about the time that he was 10, 12 years old, his family got really motivated by the fact that slavery was very evil, and his family ran a station on the Underground Railroad in central Illinois.
All of his life, the famed basketball career, being a noted historian, producer, writer, actor. It's nice to have, but better to share.
I think that the values of my community, the African-American community, there's been a disconnect between generations. And unless one generation takes the trouble to explain what these values are and why they're important, the younger generation gets cut off, and we have to help them understand that each generation has a duty to make that connection for their kids so that they connect with that, and in turn they will do the same thing with their kids.
Abdul-Jabbar does not miss an opportunity to pass on to the next generation. That comes from his commitment to keep learning and doing. What would you say to people in their 50s and 60s about moving into the next phase of their life?
I would say that it's wonderful to have the opportunity to move into another career, because if you think that life ends after your first career and you're just going to sit around and knit or something like that, it doesn't work like that. You really have to have something that motivates you, that gives you joy, because at that age you've hopefully accumulated some wisdom. You'll be able to figure out things to do that are meaningful and are of great benefit to both yourself and your community.
This learned Renaissance man is full of wit and wisdom. You have a pretty good handle on the smart part, but he was able to showcase his wit in the movie Airplane.
Wait a minute, I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm sorry, son, but you must have me confused with someone else. My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm the co-pilot.
Abdul-Jabbar says he can't walk through an airport or get on a plane without someone remembering his actor's turn.
I was flying on Lufthansa in Europe, right? And the pilot said, no, you got to come up here and fly with us, and we're going to take off with Murdoch, you know. And I did. They strapped me in, and I took off with them, and they're like, right on.
Sweet, Roger Murdoch was in the cockpit.
Right.
I think you're the greatest, but my dad says you don't work hard enough on defense.
I forget the exchange right now.
And he says that lots of times you don't even run down court.
But I end up grabbing the kid and saying, to hell I don't.
The hell I don't. Listen, kid, I've been hearing that crap ever since I was at UCLA.
There we go.
For My Generation, I'm Diane Roberts.